Good day, everyone. Welcome to the 12th edition of the Asian Festival of Children's Content 2021. AFCC is organized by the Singapore Book Council. Thank you for joining us in this session, Mental Health Inquiry for Children by Reading and Storytelling Online. I am Joji Reynes Santos. I'm a special education and a literacy teacher, and I'll be your moderator for this session. I am a learner as well who loves to read and tries so hard to write stories. I work with a diverse group of learners and in the process, learn both wonderful and dreadful things about this world. My book, Inside Daniel's Head, is an attempt to give readers a unique access to the likes of Daniel, a boy with autism and his often misunderstood world. Before we begin, I would like to thank our donors and sponsors for the generous support of the festival, especially our SBC Champion of Books, the Stephen Riadi Foundation. I would now like to introduce to you our speaker in today's session. To be a reading activist has been part of Frisca Titi Nova's enthusiasm for years. Through innovative and well-prepared library sessions, both in primary and secondary school, Frisca devoted her focus to designing ingenious methods to engage Papuan students in enjoying reading. Her endeavors as a reading activist in Timika, Papua Province, both as a professional and involuntary action, were acknowledged extraordinary by the Library and Archives Department of Mimika Regency in Papua Province. Frisca was selected as Mimika Region's representative in Papua Province's Most Potential Librarian Competition in 2017. Everyone, please welcome our speaker, Frisca Titi Nova.
Okay, thank you, Joji, for the warm introduction. Hi, everyone. Good day. So, yes, my name is Frisca Titinova, and I'm a librarian. So, it's not only working professionally as a librarian, but it's part of my life to be a literacy activist. Okay, so today, thank you for being here, and I'm going to present to you my material, and this is based on our experiment in my current working place, in international school in Batam. The title of the presentation is Reading Aloud and Storytelling Online as Mental Health Inquiry for Children. Okay, can we go through to the next slide, please? Okay, why we do this? This is the basic, right? Why we do this? Why it's so important? We need to taking care of our children mental health, and then wow, we can do it from literacy. How? Why we do this? Okay, can we go to the next slide, please? Based on the National Institute of Mental Health, on their research on 2010, considering that 1 in 5 children has had a mental disorder, in a given year, the demand for mental health services within school setting is immense. So now, moreover, in the time of COVID-19, I believe most of our students already getting, feeling tired, staring on the screen, and not socializing with their friends. I think this is even getting more important than before. Can we go through to the next slide, please? Children who know more about mental health will be more likely to seek help, often from school counselors or other school personnel, and feel less stigmatized. This is based on the research from Mambauer on 2018. So then, after we learn how we do this, then how? Okay, can we go to the next slide, please? Step 1, we need to curate good books or ebooks to read. So even though we are doing this in school online, but you too, the attendee, I believe part of you, maybe you are parents also and you have children at home, you can also do this with the printed book also, right? But yes, you need that kind of skill to curate the good books to read. The step 2, we need to let the children experience themselves how and why emotion related to physical being, because sometimes they do not understand how it can affect themselves. So this is the very basic thing we need to know and let them know how these whole things related. Step 3, let them have their inquiry themselves. And step 4, based on their inquiry, we can follow up with the further readings and actions. And if it is possible, you could have a counselor joining the session with you. Okay, we can go to the next slide, please. Okay, step 1, curate a good book or ebook to read. Next slide, please. After you choose what book we are going to read together with the children or the student, you need to relate which feelings or ambience that you want to emphasize. The happy, the sad, the anxiety, sad feelings, fear. We have to connect and relate between the book and the feelings that you want to emphasize. Next slide, please. Now, step 2. Let the children experience themselves how and why emotion related to the physical being. Next page, please. This is based on the experiment that I have done in our school in the library session. We are very fortunate that our curriculum is very flexible and really answering what the students need. And this experiment is made from our unit of inquiry about well-being. So then, I choose one book that will emphasize about fear, and I will support it with the music, which is the horror instrumental. The title of the book or the ebook is Night of the Gravedigger, and the music I took it from the Spotify. Okay, I will show you the example what we have done based on our recording. For your information, actually the recording is 30 minutes. The full session is 30 minutes, but then in the timeline of this presentation, I cut it and just took it the most important part for us. Please enjoy it. Next slide, please.
This is creepy.
So you can read, and then I will read like this. It was a week before Halloween. Jake Chestnut and his friends stood across the street from the old cemetery at the edge of the small California town. Jake had always been
Oh, you're so
fascinated.
excited. You're so exciting.
Many members of his own family had been buried there. But as far as he knew, no one had been buried in the cemetery for many years. Jake's friends, Ralphie, Pete, and Cheryl, were also fascinated by the cemetery. They'd heard enough scary cemetery stories to be a little afraid of the place too. So, are you going to go into the cemetery after dark on Halloween or not? Asked Ralphie. At 12, Ralphie was a year older than his three friends and a real take charge kind of guy. Sure, why not? What are we afraid of, right? Asked Cheryl, who had hung with these guys since kindergarten. She felt good about never being afraid, or at least never letting anyone else know if she was. I guess there's nothing really to be scared of, added Pete, Jack's closest friends, who tended to be more of a follower than a leader. What do you think, Jake? Before Jake could answer, a gust of wind slammed a sheet of newspaper against the back of his head. He shrieked. A little jumpy, asked Ralphie. I never knew anyone who was scared of newspaper. Don't be such a chicken. Come on, Jake, said Cheryl, teasing him. Half the people buried in the Auburn Street Cemetery are your relatives. They should call the place the Chestnut Family Cemetery.
Oh my god, it's getting louder.
It'll be okay, Jake, added Pete. Just think of our visit as a really strange family reunion. Okay, so after that experiment that I read the story aloud with the music instrument as the supporting voice behind me, right? it builds an ambience. Then we will let the kids, we will have the students have their inquiry. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, Valerie, I want you to tell us what is your feeling? I mean, like, why you said this is creepy?
I hate creepy story.
Creepy story. What do you mean with creepy? What is
I
creepy?
hate like a scary story and stuff. And this one is like, I hate graveyard. It's creepy.
Okay.
Start.
Okay. Thank
Really
you for
scary.
saying that.
Very boss. I scared.
So
Boss.
creepy means like you are scared about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Valerie, for sharing that with us. So exactly, we are going to discuss about it again. Yeah, wait. Yeah. Okay. I read also the text. And this Marcia said, sounds like you're acting. Okay, Marcia, can you share with us? What do you mean with this?
Oh, I meant about Valorant because she keeps on saying like it's so
Oh, it's okay. You can express yourself. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, then Jill. Okay, Jill, what do you think? You are the most excited about this.
It is so fun. It's like
Yeah?
you have this. You can know what is the song,
I
and
choose
then
the
you
right
can you choose the right song, and then you choose the right story, and then the story is perfect of this song. That's why I like it.
But you like it. You don't feel like scary or creepy. You like it. You enjoy it. Why?
Yes,
Why?
because the song and the story is perfect.
Okay, thank you, Jill. Okay, Jill said, "Yep." Valerie said, "For me, it's scary. Yes, I'm very uncomfortable. Wow, you are scared. Wow, I'm really getting to get goosebumps." Okay, jadi Miss Olga, we just get the experiment while I'm reading the book in the like in the slower pace and make like it was a week before Halloween and like that. And then I play the music, which is it's the horror music from Spotify. I can play for it, but I think we have to ask permission from Valerie because she is the one who doesn't feel really comfortable with that. So Valerie, okay.
Yes, Miss, that is correct because I have like a
Just do it, Miss. Just do it.
No, not just do it. We have everyone is comfortable enough with this, right? Okay, let us reflect on this, right? So some of you said that you enjoy it as a reading. Meanwhile, another friend said, "Oh, I feel goosebump," right? You said you have.
It's only following.
Do you know what
Following feel goosebumps.
Do you know what is goosebump? Goosebump itu artinya merinding. Jadi tuh bulu-bulu sini berdiri.
Yeah, keep having that from just now.
Nah kan, makanya Miss nggak mau paksa. I don't want to. We have to make sure that we are comfortable. Okay, so there are several things that you may like. Some situation that you might have goosebump and you feel afraid. Okay, aside from reading this book, what else? What other situation when you feel like you may have a goosebump before? Ada yang pernah punya pengalaman bulunya belum ada. Okay.
Feeling cold. Feeling cold.
Okay. So because when it's very interesting, right? Somebody feels scared and then the body has the goosebump, right? It's why it happened like that. When somebody afraid, then you got the goosebump. Somebody can somebody tell us why? Or what makes
Because there is a sensor
a sensor? Okay, a sensor from where, Jill?
from the brain that you are scared.
Oh, this is very interesting. There is a sensor from your brain that you are scared. Okay, so how then our brain can think that way, that you are scared?
Because of our eyes.
Because of our eyes. Then it's something that you
And
can.
ears. And
Yes.
ears.
Then it's something.
And
That,
feelings.
yes.
And feelings.
Yes. Then the feelings coming from something that you can see or
Hear.
you
See?
can hear.
See, hear, and feel.
Feel.
I
Okay.
hear no man.
Wow,
But that thing, it scares me.
Thank you, Jill. So you just give us the clue, right? Because of what something we see and something that we can hear. It can make your brain scared and it will deliver the message to our body why we got the goosebumps. Wow,
Yeah.
you're very smart, grade 5. You solved the mystery.
But do you think, guys, scary or not scary is okay or not?
It's
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Okay. But what is not okay for being scary?
What?
What is not okay for being scary?
I don't understand.
Now, so being scary or not being scary is okay. Every feeling is okay, right? If Valerie
Yes.
is not okay for horror story, it's okay, right? And then
Yes.
Jayla is really brave about scary things, isn't it?
Okay. So if you just saw the video before, you can see we had Miss Olga. Miss Olga is our school counselor. We are privileged to have facilities in the school, and then Miss Olga then explained to the kids scientifically why we have these feelings and whether it's okay or not okay having these kind of feelings. So then after that we will go to the step 4. Then based on their inquiry, we can follow up with the further readings and actions. Then what we can do? Next slide, please. We read more. So we are reading through Get Epic. And aside from that, we also have many books about emotions, the printed one here in the library. So the kids can have the access from the online library and then they can reserve the book and they can have we have the facilities like the drive-through. So we have specific schedule where they can take their library books by their car or having delivery man to take it just like that. So this is one sample, the books that we read together again in our library time. So this is one book with which the title is I Feel Anxious, and then about angry, emotions angry. Next slide, please. Also, aside from further readings, we are here in our school. We believe that our students are supposed to have not only choice, voice, and also they can have they supposed to be able to do an action. And then after that, I lead the kids. We can read a book about meditation, and then it will be supported again with the music, which is the mindfulness playlist, and we will do another practice for that. Okay, next slide, please. Stretch out with hands on your tummy. They move gently as you breathe. So when you breathe, you need to touch your stomach so you can feel it. Okay?
Wait, we need to go to the pool. So
This is only a picture, but you can do it while you are sitting. Okay? I will do that, yeah? Together. Breathe in deeply, nanti I will count to 10. Get ready. Breathe in deeply. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Breathe out calmly. Feel your breathing. It's so simple. Try it wherever you are. Breathe in slowly. Breathe out softly. Your breathing helps you rest. Okay, we may finish reading the book, but we will practice it, okay? So I will stop in this page. Everyone, can you sit? Sit in your chair. Meanwhile, I'm going to play a music, right? I'm going to play the music, and this music I will choose a list that people usually use it for meditation. So that's very cool, right? We can practice the mindfulness after reading the book. Can you hear the music?
No. Oh yes.
yeah.
Hello, everyone. Let's see. Okay, we will stop opening.
I thought you were sleeping, Miss.
So do you feel relaxed?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you
I
put it
quite
on.
like the song.
You like the song? Time is up, but this is just one simple practice how we can do the mindfulness. And then again, the cool thing you find it yourself actually by reading the book. Nice choice anyway. Okay, so this is the list. This is based on the research. The sum of the suggestion of the books that can help the kids to understand more about mental health. This is the researcher made it from the pre-K until grade 12. So this is will be a very good recommendation list for us. Next slide, please. And this is all the reference where I took and then so this is the reference, the one who helped me to create this experiment running well. Thank you so much for these beautiful, smart people who do these creative things and helping us. Next slide, please. And then if you have question, you can always contact me either through my IG @pustakawan Mendunia or through email kapri@pustakawanmendunia.org. That's the end of my presentation. Back to Joji.
Thank you, Friska, for such an inspiring and I must say passionate presentation. I'm
Thank
sure
you.
our audience have a lot of questions for you. So let's now move on to the Q&A portion. And okay, here's one question for you. What challenges were encountered in implementing the program? How were you able to deal with these challenges and what kind of support did you get?
Okay. Thank you, Joji, for the question. For the challenge, I believe more about the access. Whenever I did experiment in in our library session, I keep thinking about the unfortunate kids who maybe do not able to access, this kind of privilege, the good quality book, printed books, or maybe the having the good ebook, right? So then I think the challenge we're thinking in global is for them how to make sure that this knowledge is available, the access is available for everyone. For in our school, I don't think resources will be a problem, but if you think globally, my heart goes to them. And then for the supporting here, I believe because our school we have a very good teamwork and everything is already prepared in advance. So, for example, if we are going to get into the next unit, we will have the meeting before. So then, the very good thing is in the curriculum, the PYP, I cannot say the brand name. Maybe the curriculum coordinator, she always involve librarian to be part of it. So then we will know, we can be prepared. Okay, about this unit, what can we do? What resources that we have, so we can prepare before. So I believe having your leaders to support you is very crucial. So then I hope the one who attend here, either you are coming from school, you may be principal or maybe librarian, be active, be proactive, and asking what you can do to help into your curriculum.
Okay. Yes, Friska, I agree that access is indeed a very big issue. And especially from where I come from, that's such a big issue. We cannot provide books for all our learners, especially those in other places or remote places. That's really an issue. And you're lucky that your school is very supportive of that. And I hope more schools will be supportive in that way. And for schools who may struggle with resources, that's a problem that we just have to find ways to solve, right? Now, and I like your idea of like you have drive-through for books or book delivery. That gave me an idea. Thank you for that. Now, yes, you showed us a list of titles that were recommended by your researcher. So the question here is, are there enough resources for books dealing with mental health issues across different age groups? Because I think your list, the list that you showed was like 2 pages, and that's for grades 8 to 12. Yeah, so what do you think of that? Do we have enough books dealing with mental health issues
Okay.
available?
Okay. Sometimes, for me, in my opinion, sometimes we think like, oh, teaching the kids about mental health is about, talking about scientific. Okay, bring this whole things. Who write this about everything, scientifically. Actually, it's not like that. In my opinion, you bring it to the kids, make it closer, make them understand why it's important, right? So that's why exactly why I begin it. Even in grade 5, you might think like, oh, it's too late. Don't you think these grade 5 students understand already about their emotion? But they do not have the connection yet that emotion is related to the well-being, right? With the physical thing. They have not they do not have that kind of connection yet because we do not show it. So it's very easy. You can choose any book. I can choose any book behind me, and then I can read what kind of book it is. It is adventurous. It is about about a student who is angry, or this is about fear. Then you can connect it with any music. So I don't think it's become a problem actually. That's for me.
Yes, I agree with you. We can use practically any stories when we teach empathy, when we teach awareness of feelings, right? Acknowledging their feelings and dealing with different kinds of emotions. And there are many books available for this. But maybe I think the question really is more on specific books that could actually deal with anxiety, or
Oh,
or books dealing with depression, even for children, because these are concepts that are difficult for them to
yes.
identify. They're not even they might even be going through that, but they don't know that that's
Yeah.
depression or that's
Exactly.
anxiety.
Exactly,
Mhm.
Joji. So that's why actually having a librarian actually will be very helpful because it's part of the librarian jobs. We are doing, like curated what books is going to be helpful for our students. So it's part of our job. And then for me, for example, if I'm going to lead the kids reading about something, it's rarely I will be the one who define we are going to read this. It's very rarely. So usually I will ask the student to find it themselves. I will lead them with the keyword. So then the result will be there around that, and then they will be the one who choose. So this is part of our curriculum. We want the kids to have voice and have choice. So this is a very, giving them confidence. Like, this
Mhm.
is not because I'm telling them
Yes.
you need to read, but you are
Mhm.
the one who choose it. So this is very
Mhm.
interesting. But then I again, maybe if we are talking about mother tongue resources, it could be very limited when we are talking
Mhm.
about mental health in our mother tongue. For me, it's very easy. The resources in English is everywhere. But then if we're talking about the mother tongue language, even if you ask me now, I'm not really sure if we have a good curated mental health books in Bahasa Indonesia. So I think we need to encourage more people to write in our
Yes.
mother tongue. This is the
Shout
part of why we are having IFCC.
Yeah, shout out to the writers out there. We need more books dealing with mental health issues that will be appropriate for different age groups. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So here's another question. Okay. So how will this be done? I think your presentation showed that it's a group interactive session. But can this be done on a one-on-one setup as well?
Yes, I believe we can do that also in one-on-one. So for the parents, like what I said before, you can use even the printed book, but then you can play the music, put it in your handphone, and then or maybe you can use your tape. It's even getting more spookier, right?
Yes, yes.
You have the voice for you on. Even you can, turn off the light and then use the
Mhm.
flashlight and read it slowly like that, like like that. It's really more
That,
it will be more exciting for me, yeah. So that's why
yes.
I tell parents many ways to feel connected with the kids, and reading is part of it. And this kind of memory, it will stay forever with the kids. Even one of our students, because she was inspired that how music can affect into the giving you this kind of feelings. She was inspired and then made composed music, a rap song
Wow.
where
Mm-mm.
she spoke that this song can bring happy feeling to the listener. She said that in our exhibition last week. So I was very surprised. Oh, really? Oh my! So this is a very good opportunity for us. Not only having the bonding time when you're reading with your kids. It's not only the bonding time, but it also when we are talking about mental health inquiry, they understand where this is feeling coming from. And then if something happened with me, I can always talk to someone that I
True.
can trust. This is very important. We do not know, like, it depends on the case, right? Maybe some case could be very severe or very difficult for us to help, but at least they know they can talk about it. So this is the very basic thing, and I believe everyone can do that, one-on-one, in group, in school, at home. We can do that together. I believe so.
I like your example because it's a very powerful tool. It opened actually a venue for self-expression, which is what this is all about. Our children need to be able to express themselves in healthy ways so that they can take care of themselves too. Okay, so thank you for that. Now, here's another interesting question. How does the storytelling, although you were able to show this, I saw that, how does the teller or telling create a safe space for a child to open up? Okay, and there's a follow-up question. What do the storytellers do to deal with kids who might manifest symptoms of mental health issues? Okay, and I'll just add the other questions because they're related. How does the storyteller empower the child? And are the storytellers trained to deal with dealing with children who might manifest symptoms? And lastly, so they're all connected, do you have a referral system in place with mental health professionals to help you with this program?
Okay, I will try to explain. Just remind me, please, Joji, if I might forget something. Okay, so first of all, how to create a safe place. Safe place is begin with the trust, right? So trust is very important. They wouldn't feel interested to hear you talking even if they don't trust you. So that is the important thing. And then even though like they are having it online, actually the whole day they are staring on the screen. But then when it's library time, it's Miss Friska. It's always like that. So I think the trust is very important. That is the first one. And then if the safe place in the home, in the house, I think it's naturally is there. But then I mean, like, even though online, when we have the session online and we have it like in each one house, they can feel connected. So I believe trust is very important. And it's amazing, because like the introduction that you told, what I have done before in Papua, it's also the same formula. The same formula is always begin with the trust. And then trust coming from where? From ourselves. So if you feel passionate with that, if you're happy telling the story with the kids, if you're feeling happy with them, they can feel it. So it's not something that you can made up, right? So they will know that. And then because you are caring about others, there are two possibilities. Either you can catch some symptoms that they change differently, or they might complaining about something, or they tell you personally. For these whole three things, I had that experience, but not really in the severe one, as everything is can be solved. And if you're talking about like the leveling system, something. Yes, because I'm working in school. So my first one for me, I will report it to our counselor. After that, the counselor will follow it up with the principal, and maybe if it's very very severe or the parents need to come, they will ask the parents to come, something like that.
Yes. Okay.
Do I miss any question?
The question on how do you empower the children, but I think you were able to do this in the previous question.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. This is a follow-up question, still in the same topic. Did you actually have children or adolescents struggling with mental health issues come forward during the step 3 part of the session? And yeah, so how do you deal and I think that's why you have your counselors with you in the session,
Yeah.
right? Okay, would you like to elaborate on that?
Yes, sure. Thank you, Joji. So for me, yes, the kids' reflection, they could be wide. They can go anywhere. And then, like in the recording we just saw, one student, she felt terribly bad with that. Even she got the goosebump. Where the others thought is too much, is something like that. Where too much, right? So I have to manage these whole things. We wouldn't bully this one who feelings who has the feeling who have the feel who felt it's scary. We wouldn't bully her, but I encourage them. It's okay, and everyone can have different feelings. So I maybe do not show it in the video because, like I've told you, it's supposed to be like 30 minutes. So, but actually, in part of the minutes in the recording, I'm telling them one person they could be afraid about the graveyard, the other they could be afraid of the darkness, the other one else could be afraid of something. So I elaborated with the kids and asked them question, what do you afraid of? So it's not only one, so it's not only, like everyone have different fear, and we need to respect everyone's fear and we accept them, right? We do not bully them. Then that's why I believe, because I need someone who can calm the students in a way if something happened she can explain it in scientifically, and she is the professional on that. So I asked the counselor to stand by in the whole session just in case something happened. So then after the whole things, the kids have their own inquiry, which is true. I am really proud of them. They can solve it. And then I deliver the session later on to our counselor to confirm it, just like that.
I saw what you did, and I think I agree. I completely agree that it's really important to acknowledge the feelings, all feelings, and I think you did that pretty well. You know, you were very respectful, and you created really that safe space for your children to feel whatever it is that they felt, and you were able to assure them that it's okay, and it's okay, all feelings are valid, because I think that's really one thing that we would want to encourage teachers, parents, librarians to when it comes to feelings. The first thing really is to acknowledge the feelings, whatever that is, because that's valid. We cannot dispute their feelings, and we can work on whether we can work on these feelings later on if there's a need to, you know, to help them calm down or to help them see a different side. But it's really important to acknowledge the feelings, because that would show respect, that would show respect for their autonomy, and that would actually build their confidence that it's okay. It's okay to feel anything, and it's okay to speak up about how they feel. So yes, I think your program is able to really do that. Okay, I
Thank you.
have another question here, Krista. And this one is very close to my heart. Do you have children with developmental disorders or children in the spectrum, autism spectrum disorder, whom you might identify as struggling with mental health issues? Because in my practice in the past year, I have observed this, because they really had a difficult time adjusting to the changes that happen, to the disruptions in their routine. So do you have students like this?
Okay. Actually, it's part of the school policy, so I cannot open it to you. But at least we, as a librarian, we always be prepared. So in our library, I specially curated our library collection to make sure it's balanced. So it's not only about whether this a student is. We can prepare a book about a special needs, and also, but we can make it in balance also about the race and also the skin color. It's very important then again to have librarian to work on that. And then even though at this moment we do not have any special needs students in the classroom at that moment, but then I can emphasize to them, we have certain friends that can have this kind of symptoms, and then we can read the book together. For that one, because the unit of inquiry about the well-beings and about feelings, actually last time we had it in the same time from grade 1 to grade 5. So I have different approach and different books to read together. But yes, it's part. I think I shared with it in the grade 3. But yes, it's another video recording. Thank you, Joji, for it.
All right. So thank you, Priska. Now here, earlier you mentioned about parents, having storytelling sessions with their children for bonding and for everything else. But because because we're specifically talking about mental health issues, can parents be trained to do this kind of inquiry and train them into dealing with, or at least mindfully dealing or responding with questions or behavioral manifestations that might be indicative of mental health issues?
Yes, thank you,
Or
Joji.
do you
That's a
have
very
that
good,
in your
yeah, it's very good
school?
question. So yes, you are right. Actually, what we can do in the school is only from, for example, in our school in Batam, from 7:30 to 3 p.m. Right? It's
Mhm.
only like how many hours, right? It's not including the lunchtime. I'm talking about the previous year before the COVID time. But then the longer time the kids are with their parents. So I think this kind of understanding, the parents need to realize it first. Sometimes parents might think, okay, because I enroll my kids in your school, the best school in Batam, you need to fix my problem. Whatever it is, my kid's supposed to be good over that, even the best, right? Then they forgot that actually the one who took the biggest responsibility supposed themselves. So I think the first thing we need to do, the parents need to realize the role. That's the
Yes.
first one. Then second, for doing storytelling, sometimes people do not know because they haven't seen the good one. So they can browse the sample of what kind of storytelling, the good one storytelling, or they can attend this session. So then they can get the inspiration. Oh, we can do a lot of things, right? And then the third, yes, if you really care about your kids, you are going to give the best, you need to read more, right? So we do not ask our students to read, but the parents need to read also.
Yes.
I think that
Especially
will be very
now.
helpful.
Yes,
Yes.
especially now because before, they send their children to your school for practically the entire day. But now the children stays at home. The children stay at home, and under their, they study under their supervision. So they really have to
Yes.
also redefine their roles as parents and make it
Exactly.
fun, not just for their children, but also for themselves, right?
Exactly.
Okay, now, yes, we're here. It's kind of related. This is the last question. Can this program that you have also be offered to adults, like to teachers and staff and parents?
Okay. Okay, so I think for the adults, mostly they will say, "I know what is feelings," and then, "Oh, feelings is connected with physical being." I know already. I know already. The problem then, do you do that? Do you reflect on yourself? Do you understand about yourself? Even can you express yourself? Because if you wouldn't feel passionate when you're going to work, right? Even can you even reflect on yourself, like you're having bad temper in your working place, or even when you meet your kids after you arrive at home, you have to we have as an adult, actually we are the one who tend to think like we know everything, but did we do that, right?
Yes.
So I think for the parents, the approach will be, or the adults will be on more about reflection.
Yes.
Yes, but in our school, because we know that this is very important, then our school specifically we made a training for the teachers. Mm-mm.
Yes, it's important because it's not just children who are adjusting, but teachers as well and parents as well. And as adults, sometimes it's difficult for us to acknowledge that we are struggling because we don't want to appear weak, right? Earlier, I was talking to a colleague, to a friend who runs a school, and she was sharing that she had a chat with a teacher yesterday who's been feeling sick the past few days, and of course the fear was, okay, what are you are you affected with COVID or something? But apparently it wasn't that. Apparently it was really that teacher actually just needed to acknowledge that she was tired, that she was having some difficulties, because this teacher is a strong teacher, a strong woman who's gone through so many difficulties in her life. And so she cannot easily, I think, acknowledge that this thing going on right now is something that, affected her, that it affects her. So sometimes it's really just a matter of acknowledging that there are things that are difficult and it's okay. And I think it's more difficult for adults sometimes to acknowledge that. So that's why I think the question on are there programs for adults as well? Okay. So, but that's the last of our question,
Okay,
Priska.
wow,
Yes, unless you would
amazing.
want. Yes, you have any last words that you would want to share to our audience?
Okay, thank you, Joji. For me, actually, literacy and read, you can reach into many kind of field. You can expose many kind of fields. You can inspire these whole kids with any fields that you want. Mental health, science, technology, culture, art, music, many kind of fields we can inspire these kids from these whole books, right? Why we have these whole books if nobody read, right? So that's actually when we are doing this, we have the benefits so many. Not only the kids understand about what is mental health, they feeling like, oh, reading is fun, right? And even we can see the product already. One of my students, she made the music composition. We don't know about the future. If you keep doing this with the kids, even the fourth bonus you can get if you're parents, you have bonding time with your family, and they will remember that forever. So I don't think, even though many people said like reading is boring or something, maybe they haven't got the experience to find a book that they fall in love with. So keep reading, find a book that you fall in love with or the kids fall in love with, and you can learn a lot. Life is full of inspiration. Keep reading. That's from me. Thank you, Joji.
Thank you, Friska. Yes, we have to advocate, keep reading, and make reading fun. And we
Yes.
can work together to make reading fun. The
Yes.
teachers, the librarians, the counselors are part of it, the home, the parents. We
Yes.
all work together to make, and of course, the writers, to
Yes.
make reading fun. And that's why I think we are all here in this festival. So,
Yes, and Joji,
uh,
one more note from me. Because reading, we need also, when we want to read, we need also the high quality of readings, right? So we need more authors, we need more writers, we need more illustrators, we need musicians, we need these whole things with the new term. Maybe author is no longer enough. We can say like the creators. We need the
yes.
creators to think about the future. What kind of content that we can mix the multimedia, just like the experiment that I did. I mix the text, I mix the music, but somehow I can use also my voice. So we are open to a lot of experiments. What we can do to make these readings inspiring, fun, and memorable for the kids.
That's right. Thank you, Friska, for such a wonderful presentation. Your passion and activism really shines through. So, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Yeah, my pleasure
Yes.
to have you here and direct this session with very good and beautiful questions. Amazing.
Okay. Thank you. And so, Thank you also to all our online participants for joining us here today. We hope that this has been a fruitful session for you. Please help us improve our sessions by completing the feedback form. Use the QR code on your screen to access the feedback form. You can save your responses too and get back to them when you're ready to submit them. All books by our featured speakers can also be found at the official AFCC bookstore, Closet Full of Books. Check out the website and click on Bookstore on the main menu to make your purchases. Session materials and presentations will be made available to delegates after AFCC. We will send you the links to access these soon. And just a quick reminder, you can catch this session again via video on demand. Just visit the official AFCC website for details on how you can access this session and all the other sessions. Once again, this is Joji Reyna Santos. Thank you very much for joining us.